Hey, welcome in everyone to Dom Time. Boy, I know we're getting tons of calls tonight. Two great guests in studio, and Christine Flowers, talking about what decision will Boy Scouts of America make. Kim Otto is with us. Kim has a son who is gay and has left the Scouts. Greg Quinlan is with us to talk about the other side of it, a defense of the Scouts. And here's an email we received, and we love to get your emails from Jay. Jay wrote us, I'm glad the Scouts seem to be opening the door to possibly change their long-standing anti-gay views. It's about time, and I remind folks who cite religious grounds for the gay ban that there are plenty of religious people out there whose churches and synagogues affirm gay equality. You haven't had a chance, Greg, here. We've been overwhelmed back and forth a little bit. What point are we missing that you'd like to make?
Well, there's several points here that we are missing. And one of those is that affirming sexuality and talking about sexuality to children. These are 8-year-olds. They're supposed to be learning how to tie that square knot, not talking about what to do with their body
Well, wait a
parts.
minute, let me ask you though. So is the gay scoutmaster, you're saying, coming out to the kid, or is the gay scoutmaster just out there in the community in general that he's gay?
Well, the very fact that we're having this conversation right now is saying that we are going to affirm to the kids, to the boys and the teens in the Boy Scouts that we're going to talk about sexuality.
All right, let me put you on the spot then, Kim, and tell me, how does this play out? Because I'm in agreement that I don't want any widespread discussion of sexuality with 8-year-olds in pump
No,
tents.
neither do I.
Okay,
Neither
so
do I.
tell me how it would play out, though. The other side seems to be making the point that this will lead to this whole thing, a discussion of moms and dads and gays, and gay scout mentors and pup tents. I thought we were going to tie a knot. Instead, we're into this. How would it play out in your view?
In my view, it does not need to be the issue that it's being made. It really doesn't. Just a blanketing acceptance, tolerance, appreciating each other for our differences and trying to learn from each other. I think that in trying to cultivate tomorrow's leaders today through organizations like Scouts, we are doing a disservice by teaching children 8, 9, 10, all, up until Eagle Scouts, that discrimination and bigotry.
Are they teaching them that, though, or are they just
Well,
saying we're not talking about it? Just
No.
don't talk about it.
No, well, it's had to be talked about. There are scores.
When people on your side, though, press the issue, they have to talk about it. They wouldn't talk about it otherwise.
Well,
I think
I think that that's not true. I think that now, because of all the corporate sponsorship,
that's pressing the issue.
that is, they're right, because who wants to donate, the discriminatory policies of corporations that have been donating to Scouts, they're pulling it because it just goes against their own in-place policies.
Let me take one more caller for you guys. Let's go to Kim, who's been hanging in. Hey, Kim, if you can make it quick, go right ahead with your comment.
I was just going to ask the gentleman, in the beginning he stated that the kids were going to be at risk more because of the gay folks. And I've seen statistics that actually show that the straight folks have a higher pedophilia rate, and I was wondering how he backs that up.
Greg?
Happy to. When you look at the population of homosexuals to heterosexuals, the pedophilia rate is higher among homosexuals per capita in the population. But one thing we didn't address, and we just did address, is that the corporate sponsorship or the bullying by several corporate sponsors, such as Randall Stevenson of AT&T, they have a policy. He's violating his own policy about anti-bribery compliance. So there's a policy inside AT&T about not bribing an organization to change its policy or coercing them to change their values in order to get the money from the corporation. That's what Randall Stevenson is doing, CEO of AT&T, violating his own corporate policy.
I would ask you, though, don't people like Kim have the right to agitate for their side to say, we're not going to support your products, we're going to boycott you?
Fine, and then it's fine. I think her son had the right idea about leaving the Scouts, and so he made his protest by doing that, and that's fine. He has the right to do that. But the problem we have here is it's not just his rights. It's the rights of the other parents and the other children who are involved in this organization. That's the rights that are being ignored. This is the right. It's our rights. I'm speaking for myself and representing that side, whose rights are being thrown away, and we're the ones being bulldozed into accepting something we don't believe is even healthy.
All righty. Well, you know what? It's a short show. Got a lot of callers in. Kim, I thank you very much. Thank you for joining us tonight. Greg, I invite the two of you back. This won't go away. Thanks for all the people that called in tonight. Thanks to Christine Flowers. Coming up, I get a chance to give you my 2 cents on the NFL and where they're going next right after the Super Bowl. You're watching Dom Time. Hey everyone, welcome back to Dom Time. This is my time of the week to vent on something that I've seen or to lionize someone. Yesterday, we all were sitting in our Barco loungers, I know I was, for a very, very entertaining Super Bowl. Maybe some of the highest numbers ever. Yeah, the blackout of half the stadium added to some of that. But the thing that got me, or the elephant in the room that went on earlier that day, Jim Nantz I happened to see on Face the Nation with Bob Schieffer, and Nantz was asked about, come on, Jim, the concussion level in the NFL, the dementia, the suicides of these athletes. 4,000 or 5,000 of them have lawsuits against the NFL. This is staggering. And when you watched what goes on a big-time football like last night, you saw some of the hits, some of the guys like Ray Lewis hitting each other. It's almost unimaginable what it takes to endure that. Would I let my sons who played basketball and things like that and baseball play football? Yeah, I think at the high school level, I don't think we can see the concussion level that we're seeing, but boy, when you get to the NFL, there is a real big problem, and it's going to become more apparent. So it's up to the NFL, which is working with all kinds of people to find a better helmet or different rules without changing the game that we all love as we sit in our Barco loungers around America. Let's hope the NFL finds the wisdom and the means to do that. I'll see you next week at 7 p.m. here on Dom Time.